Good evening, sci-fi movie nerds, and welcome to another episode of the Sci-Fi Movie Guy. My name is Mike, and this is weekly show number 38. So we're going to get started, as we always do, with Star Wars news. So our first story today is tonight on Star Wars Rebels, we're going to see the return of Obi-Wan Kenobi. The voice from the trailer sounds an awful lot like Alec Guinness, which makes perfect sense because in the timeline we are about 2 years away from the Battle of Scarif from Rogue One. Will this be the climactic end of Darth Maul, and will Ezra help the light side of the dark side of this epic battle? Well, I will tell you all about this episode tonight. As soon as it airs, I will tape my Rebels recap show, and then we'll break it all down as best we can as to what happens. But I have to say, this is my most anticipated episode of Star Wars Rebels ever. Even more so than Twilight was with the Darth Vader Ahsoka episode. I am so excited to see this episode. I hope it doesn't fall flat. I don't think it will. I love the fact that it's Ewan McGregor, not Ewan McGregor sound-alike, that it's Alec Guinness sound-alike, because it makes way more sense being 2 years before Rogue One happens. But again, we'll talk about it more tonight. Please let me know in the comments section what you guys are expecting tonight. I do think that this is my prediction, and we'll find out if I'm right, but I think this is the end of Darth Maul as we know it. I think this will be his final end. And I think Ezra is going to show up on Tatooine and be torn between the two of them because he wants the power that Maul can give him from the dark side. But ultimately we know, because Obi-Wan Kenobi's in the original Star Wars movies, that Obi-Wan does come out on top. So the only two outcomes that I can see is Ezra stops Maul from killing Obi-Wan, or Ezra helps Maul escape from Obi-Wan. Those are the only two real things, but I think Maul is going to bite the dust tonight. So let's see what happens. Our second story today in Star Wars news is Variety recently caught up with Star Wars veteran puppet master and voice talent Frank Oz to question him about the possible involvement in future Star Wars projects. When asked directly, Frank Oz said, and I quote, "I feel like I'm a prisoner at war here. I can only give you my name, rank, and serial number. To be true to the people who asked me, and they are kind of my family, I have to say I've been asked not to talk about it. I love Yoda. I would be happy to talk to you about it at the time they let me." And a lot of people are speculating that this means Yoda is in The Last Jedi. And yes, I think he will be. But is it a confirmation? No, it isn't. But yes, it makes perfect sense that Luke Skywalker would have been communing with Obi-Wan Kenobi, would have been communing with Yoda, might have even been communing with his father, Anakin Skywalker. You just never know. But it will be a huge missed opportunity for Rian Johnson not to use a Force Ghost Yoda in The Last Jedi. Please, again, let me know in the comments section what you guys think. Is Yoda in The Last Jedi? If so, how big of a part will he play? And our final story in Star Wars news today is, meanwhile, in another corner of the galaxy, Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, Ewan McGregor, who is enthusiastic about Star Wars in all aspects, also refused to answer any questions about his involvement in the franchise for The Last Jedi, questioned multiple times about it in a recent Reddit AMA session. And again, I think Obi-Wan, I think Ewan McGregor is in The Last Jedi. Also on top of that, I think that Anakin Skywalker is going to be in The Last Jedi. Now, whether it's Force Ghosts, whether it's Visions, whether it's showing going back in time, they might show Anakin fighting. I really think that Ewan McGregor, Frank Oz as Yoda, and Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker are all going to be in this movie. We all know Rian Johnson is a huge Star Wars fan. He even likes the prequels a lot. And so why wouldn't he bring them all in? This would be his dream come true as a Star Wars fan to be able to do this. So I think they're all in it. I think Ewan McGregor is doing what he's supposed to be doing and not telling us anything. But yes, I believe he's in it. So that's it for Star Wars news. Now we're going to get into sci-fi news, and we got a lot of stuff happening, especially in the DC Extended Universe. And the title of this was, "Is DC Setting Us Up for a Reboot?" So I'm going to tell you all the stories, and then at the end of all the DC stories, I'm going to tell you what I think about that and where DC is going. So the first piece of news is Warner Brothers has decided to push its release of Aquaman back from its original October 5th, 2018 release date to December 21st of the same year. No reason was given for the move, but director James Wan is gearing up to start filming the sea-based superhero movie in Australia within a matter of weeks. And this is the first part of why I think what's going to happen in the DC universe. But just relating to Aquaman and it being pushed back, it's probably because they're rewriting the script. Now, I think they're rewriting this script like they're going to be rewriting the Flash script, like they're rewriting the Batman script, because they have a new direction from what has happened in the Justice League movie that we're going to get in November. And so DC is going to go one of two ways with this. And again, we'll talk about it in just a minute. But Aquaman, I think the only reason it got pushed back, I don't think it had anything to do with box office. I don't think they're going to try to get December. If anything, I don't think December 21st is as good of a date as October. Because a lot of people so close to Christmas, they're going to be away. They're going to be on holidays. They're going to be doing family stuff. So I think it might lose some box office momentum as opposed to October. Now let's get into our second piece of sci-fi news, which is now that Matt Reeves has officially signed on to direct the Batman, Variety's Justin Knoll is saying that due to his contractual obligations on War of the Planet of the Apes, filming won't begin this year, but now won't likely happen until 2018. Reeves' schedule would make sense, however. Now Slash Film is also reporting that there's more to the story. The script for the Batman is being rewritten from the ground up. The outlet has multiple sources saying that the studio is looking to scrap the Ben Affleck, Jeff Johns, Chris Terrio script and begin with a page one rewrite. That is sure to put the final release date in flux as the movie still hasn't secured an opening weekend. Now this all lends into that DC stuff. Now, yes, they brought on a new director, Matt Reeves, so of course he's going to want input into the script because he wants to buy into this movie. But I also think that, again, what happens in the Justice League forced them not to be able to use the Ben Affleck script, so they have to do a rewrite. Just like The Flash, what they had planned, have to do a rewrite. So, in the whole grand scheme of things, what happens in the DCEU, I think, is up to us, the fans. If we go out to Justice League and we absolutely love it and we tweet about it and we rave about it and the box office is huge on Justice League, then they will continue with the storyline that comes out of Justice League and move forward with that. However, because of the divisive Man of Steel 2, Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad reviews, and some people loved it, some people hated it, some people just liked it. If that happens again with Justice League, I think we're going to get an entire reboot. They're going to bring in new actors, they're going to change it all, start over with their whole universe. And that would be very upsetting to me because I am one of the few people that liked Batman v Superman. I didn't think it was a masterpiece, but I liked it. I liked Man of Steel as well. And I want to see a Man of Steel 2 movie coming out, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. So a reboot, I hope not. But you know what? It's up to us. It's up to the fans. If we like Justice League, they'll continue. If we don't like Justice League, they have to do something different. They cannot keep making these movies that the fans don't like. So really, you guys are going to let Warner Brothers know where it's happening, but I don't think we're going to hear about any more movies happening in the DCEU or big news around them like we heard about Nightwing a couple weeks ago. Well, they're just tossing these nuggets out to see how the fans are reacting because they're so reactionary at Warner Brothers now about what we say. Oh, they love the idea of Nightwing. Let's push that into motion. Well, no. What'll probably happen is the Batman standalone movie will have Ben Affleck as Batman, then whoever's Nightwing, and then whoever's Robin. And Ben Affleck will die as Batman in the Batman movie because he's done. He doesn't want to do this role anymore. And then whoever the actor they get to play Nightwing will take over the Batman cowl, and whoever's Robin will either work with Batman or take over the Nightwing cowl, and they'll get a new Robin. That's what I think will happen in the standalone Batman movie. That's what I think will happen in the DC Extended Universe. It's up to us how we perceive Justice League. So let's get into our third sci-fi news story today, and that's our time with Chris Evans as Captain America may be coming to an end. As part of a wide-ranging cover story and interview in Esquire magazine, Evans discusses his future with Marvel and seemingly reveals that after his contract is fulfilled after the second Avengers Infinity War movie, he'll be hanging up the shield of Captain America. And this makes sense. Okay, we've had 3 Captain America movies. We've had him in an Avengers movie. You know what? An actor can't want to play a character for that long. Actors want different roles. They want to flex their acting muscles. I'm sure he has no desire to keep up the physique that he has to, working out, diet, with the contract. It'll be all in his contract playing Captain America that you have to keep this up. You're probably not allowed to do any extreme sports because they don't want you to break a leg or anything. They don't want scars on Captain America. So I think it's a really, really make sense story that Chris Evans says he's going to be in 2 more movies, Avengers 2, one more movie, the second Avengers movie, and then that's it. Am I sad about it? Absolutely. I love Chris Evans as Captain America. But you know what? We've been doing these movies for a long time. Like, I think we've been 18 years of the Marvel extended universe, which has been phenomenal. Maybe it is time for a reboot, do a prequel like they did in X-Men with Days of Future Past and show them all as young guys and start it over, get some new acting blood in there. There's a lot of upcoming young actors that would be great in these roles. So no, I don't have a problem with this. I will miss this version of the Marvel Universe. Absolutely. It's been the best we've ever had from superhero films, with the exception of the Nolan Batman trilogy, which I absolutely loved. But does it make sense? Absolutely. So I can't wait to see Chris Evans in possibly his last movie, The Avengers, as Captain America. And our next story today in Sci-Fi News is, according to a report from THR, Warner Brothers is in the early stages of developing a reboot and relaunch of The Matrix, with Zach Penn in talks to write a treatment and Michael B. Jordan eyed to star. The report goes on to mention that at this point, the Wachowski siblings, the original writers and directors, are not involved. The project is still in the very early stages of planning, so a release date is still far from being determined. And you know what I say to this? I don't care. I don't care to see a Matrix reboot. I only half-ass liked the first Matrix. I didn't like the 2 sequels. I thought they weren't that great of movies. The first Matrix was okay. I don't want to see a reboot. Put this to bed. Let it go away. Let the first Matrix be a cult classic. And yeah, I just don't care. I don't want to see it. And our final sci-fi movie story today is, according to an exclusive report from Collider.com, Kinsman director Matthew Vaughn is Warner Brothers' top choice to direct Man of Steel 2, and preliminary conversations about the prospect have taken place. The report cautions that this isn't in the deal-making stages as of yet, and Vaughn could very well end up not directing the film. But he is also who Warner Brothers wants at this time. And through a sequel to Man of Steel has been in the works for a while now, a release date has yet to be determined. And this story goes back to what I was talking about, the DC Extended Universe. They don't know what they're going to do yet until after Justice League. So you guys like Justice League, Man of Steel 2 will happen. You guys don't like Justice League, we might get a new Superman, we might get a whole new universe. We can't take this for anything more than Warner Brothers is trying to line up directors and lock them in so that when they do know what they're doing, they're ready to move forward and go ahead. That's it for the weekly show number 38. Please do me a big favor and comment in the comment section below what you think about these stories. I want to hear your comments. Please click like if you like this video. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Love to get more subscribers. I've been doing this for about a year now, and I'm at 54 subscribers. I'd love to get more. Please tell me if you guys think there's something in the show that you'd like to see happen. My name's Mike. I'm the Sci-Fi Movie Guy. You can email me, movieguySci-fi@gmail.com, or follow me on Twitter @movieguySci-fi. And remember, everybody, nerds rule the world.